So before we start the video, I'd like to ask you guys to please consider subscribing to the channel and liking the video, as it helps the channel grow. So, let's get into it. So, week 4 of the NFL season is upon us, and for the Chicago Bears, they will be taking on the New York Giants on Sunday, looking to improve to 3-1 on the season. In this video, I'm going to give y'all 3 keys to the game that I think the Bears should do to be able to win this game. So, without further ado, let's get into it. What's up, guys? KT here, back at it with another video. Today, we're doing the Bears. The Bears are looking to improve off that ugly loss versus the Houston Texans last Sunday when they go into New York to take on the Giants. This should be a very interesting game. These two teams don't really have very good offenses, but they do have very solid defenses. So they're very similar teams on paper. So without further ado, let's get into the first key. The first key is always going to be important, is to make Daniel Jones beat you. It's always important when you play the Giants to not let anybody else but Daniel Jones beat you. The performance on Monday night for Daniel Jones was not good, and mainly because the Cowboys made it to where Daniel Jones has to beat you with his arm. You know, he can break the pocket, he's a good runner, doesn't have the best receiving core around him, and definitely does not have the best protection. If you can make Daniel Jones beat you, the Giants are a very beatable team. We saw that on Monday, and they're not a very good offense. They don't have all the big names. Their offensive line is shaky at best. I think Daniel Jones got sacked, 6 times on Monday? And, the Cowboys had a game plan. They were going to shut down Saquon and make Daniel Jones beat them from the pocket and not let Daniel Jones break the pocket too much. So, for the Bears, they need to take that same strategy because Saquon Barkley is going to be a problem. This is not a very good run defense team in the Bears. But if they can pull off a performance like they did last week, only holding the Houston Texans to 92 yards on the ground, and try to make Daniel Jones beat you, just like the way they tried to make Davis Mills beat them last week, I feel like the Bears can win this game. But it will all depend on whether they stop the run and if they can keep Daniel Jones contained into the pocket. The pass rush will be important, considering how much pressure Daniel Jones was under on Monday. The Bears should be able to get consistent pressure. Now, obviously, they don't have the pass rush that the Cowboys do with Micah Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence and all that, but they still have very good players on that defensive line. And the Giants' offensive line is not really good. So, with that being said, I think the pass rush and making Daniel Jones beat you with his arm instead of his legs or with the run game is important. Second key. This ties into the first key a lot. You need to be able to stop Saquon Barkley. He is their best player on offense. Clearly has been their best player on offense for the past 3 weeks now. The Giants are a very good running football team. Now, with that being said, the Bears are not a very good run defense team. We saw it against the Packers. We saw it against the Niners. So they're not really good against the run. But that's the big thing in this game, is you need to stop Saquon Barkley from finding any hole or any crease in the defense, because if Barkley sees it, he's going to be gone. And once he's one-on-one with defenders, I have a stunning feeling that the Bears aren't going to be able to tackle him in the open field. So stopping the run is important. Like I said before, making Daniel Jones beat you, and not letting him rely on Saquon or anybody else to get involved in the rushing game is important. You want to make Daniel Jones beat you. You got to be able to stop the run, because if you can't stop the run against this Giants team, you're most likely not going to beat this Giants team. So, yeah, stop the run. Make Saquon think twice about running through those holes. Make him second-guess some things. Saquon has a tendency to miss open holes in the offensive line. And if the Bears can kind of keep him in check next Sunday, they have a very good chance of winning this game, which then ties into the third point. You need to be able to at least pass for over 200, at least over 200 yards, at least over 100 yards. We all know that the Giants are not a very good run defense team. You can run on the Giants. The offensive line for the Bears, run blocking has been really good. They've been opening up holes for these running backs in the backfield. We saw it with Khalil Herbert and David Montgomery the past 2 weeks. We know that the Bears can run the ball. However, this passing offense needs to improve, especially going into this game against the Giants, because that the Giants, they know that they're not a good team against the run. So they're going to try to stack the box as much as possible. So what the Bears need to do is you need to establish a run game, but at the same time, you need your passing game to get in sync. We need Fields to put together some drives with his arm. He's struggling a little bit with his throws. He's second guessing. He's not using his athletic talents to his advantage. He's not using that big arm to his advantage. He's kind of second guessing every throw he's making, and that's kind of cost the Bears offense. Now, I'm not saying it's all his fault because receivers have not been getting open as much as you would like them to. But at the same time, you need to be able to put together consistent drives, not just relying on the run game, but complementing that run game with the passing game. So we know they can run the ball, but that passing, if they can just at least get over 160 yards passing, that would be a success. Because you don't need a lot to beat this Giants team, as you saw on Monday. The Giants will most likely beat themselves at most of the time, and let's just be honest. Let's just call a spade a spade. The Giants are not going to be able to put up, giant numbers on a week-to-week basis. They're not a very good offense themselves, so take advantage of that. Get your passing game in rhythm. This should be a perfect game, to get the receivers and tight ends involved. If you can at least get over 160 yards passing as a team, that's a big improvement from the 106 last week. So, establish your run early, get some play action going, maybe a couple screens here and there to get your receivers in rhythm, because you're going to need that passing offense. The Giants are going to come to stuff the run, and they're going to try to keep Fields in the pocket as much as possible and make him uncomfortable. But if the Bears can kind of counteract that with a good passing game, quick passes to start out and then gradually move up to intermediate passes, at least get some guys involved to where you'll have more than 100 yards passing in 2 weeks. That would be a very big key for the Bears. So, with all that being said, I think the Bears will win this game 20-17. With that score last week, because guess what? You're playing a similar team to you. They don't really have all of that much talent on offense. Galladay hasn't, played up to his standards. Sterling Shepard just got hurt. Saquon, he can only do so much, and their offensive line is, especially in pass blocking, is not really good for the Giants. And they have a similar quarterback too. Daniel Jones entering his 5th year as a starter in this league, and he hasn't really been very good. I say they're kind of, and what I mean by they're kind of similar in that instance is that they're struggling right now. The Giants are struggling to put the ball through the air and struggling to put points on the board. They're not a very consistent team on offense. One week they'll have a good showing, the next week they'll kind of look bad, and that's very similar to the Bears. You have a quarterback that's out of rhythm in Justin Fields. Good running game, not really good receivers, okay receivers that can get open from time to time, but they're struggling as well. So 20-17, I just don't see the Giants putting up monster numbers against this Bears defense, but I don't see the Bears blitzing this Giants defense either. So 20-17 seems like a pretty realistic bet. I think we'll see a better game from Justin Fields, but don't expect anything too crazy. If he can at least get over 100 yards passing, maybe like 160 yards passing, maybe for a touchdown, something to build off of going into the next game, that would be important. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Leave your prediction in the comment section as I will be reading them. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider subscribing to the channel and liking the videos. It helps the channel grow. Hit that notification bell so you get notified every time I drop one of these Bears videos. Yeah, I'm out. Peace.